Every day, thousands of people hit the road heading towards their dreams. But sometimes those dreams collide with a harsh reality. Auto accidents with 18-wheelers can change lives in an instant. That's why you need the experience and expertise of St. Martin & Borg. With over 50 years of experience, St. Martin & Borg have fought for justice for the victims of truck accidents.
If you've been in a wreck with an 18-wheeler, know your rights.
Call St. Martin & Borg today to schedule your free consultation.
Everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. It's post-Francine. It's doing a little autopsy of a major event that came through our parish in the last week. So here to talk about it, Jason W. Bergeron, Parish President, Tier 1 Parish. Thanks for being with us. I guess as I keep talking to more and more people, it's like, that was a little rough, but it wasn't that bad. We got through it and everybody seemed prepared. I hear a lot of good things about the preparedness, everybody ready, the response was awesome. So do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, definitely feel like we dodged the bullet. We know we got some residents that have major damage. In fact, to our numbers, we have 677 properties damaged at different levels, plus 25 businesses. And so a few of those are total loss. And I hate that our residents to deal with that, but overall, the damage was way less than what we expected.
Yeah. I guess the theme keeps coming back for preparedness. And look, it's not our first rodeo, right? We just did this 3 years ago. But it does seem like everybody was in place, and I think a lot of people appreciated that.
Yeah, and I hope, I hope people don't get a false sense of security with this, right? Because like I've been telling everybody, 30 to 50 miles to the west, a little bit stronger storm, we are having a different conversation.
Yeah, it wasn't an Ida, right? Yeah.
It wasn't an Ida. In fact, I had a conversation today, somebody said it was similar to a Gustav. And again, it's that worst case scenario where it came in. And so, just the right conditions. And, if what comes out of this is that we're having some conversations with FEMA and that Francine's going to shed some light on Ida, the same way Ida did for Laura. That's could be why this happened, but to not think that it'll be like this next time, because It could be much worse.
Could be much worse for sure. The White House made a federal declaration. What does that mean for us?
So that was the thing that we've been waiting on. It means that we are going to have some public assistance. In fact, I wanted to share. So if you go to disasterassistance.gov, or if you dial 1-800-621-3362, you can start filing your claim now. We're going to have some FEMA people in the area. In fact, we have some crews out now. Within about a week, we're going to be opening up a disaster assistance center at the main library. But with FEMA teams being out and about, if somebody comes up to you and says they're with FEMA, they should better show you a FEMA ID and make sure you see that.
Right. Yeah, we don't need that fraud. I didn't see the same amount of trucks in town. Like we saw those trucks from Texas were all in here trying to fix everybody's roofs last time. The roofs seemed like, again, the infrastructure seemed like it was a little hardier. We all had new roofs from the last 3 years ago.
New poles, new roofs, new everything.
A couple of extra nails in those, so I didn't see shingles all over the place like I had been seeing. So with the federal declaration, it's always also SNAP benefits. It's all those kind of things. Right?
So with SNAP benefits, we don't have a time frame yet. We are as far as new people, right? If you're already on DSNAP and you already have a DSNAP card, you should get an automatic deposit into it. We don't have that time frame either, but those are things that they're already looking at, and we're just waiting on a little bit more information. They're doing assessments. We had to reach thresholds as a parish. As of right now, there's only 8 parishes that met that threshold, and Tier 1 Parish is one of them. So as we look through, again, the state, we do parish thresholds. The state's got to meet a certain threshold. So as that adds together, as we continue to get information, with our 677 properties damaged, that's information we're already able to give to FEMA. It seems to be we're ahead of the curve with everybody versus everybody else. Unfortunately, been through it a lot, but again, it's more stuff that we're going to release this stuff every day probably, and just keep an eye on our Facebook and webpage.
It seemed like more of a power storm, like power outage storm. Everything, are we back up, or where are we at with that?
We're almost 100%. I know like energy was 98%. We're working through the onesies and twosies here where maybe something's damaged on the home. Maybe the situation where there was heavy debris. We had some places where some big trees came down. Again, we had a 97 mile an hour gust that EOC. So we definitely got some hurricane force winds in this area. Some of these lines cross swamps or heavily wooded areas, and so just working through all that and having to deal with a lot of trees. You know, we didn't have as many poles down, but we definitely had a lot of trees. So we're still working through all that. But you know, it's as people are, you know, as they see it, report it. We might not know, Energy might not know, Sleeka might not know. So we definitely feel, you know, if you have a problem, if you have power and then lose it, definitely got to let us know, because something could have happened, something could have fell, a number of things.
Yeah. So if people are out there looking, what's the number one thing people are asking you about?
Asking us, I'd say probably, we got a lot of calls today for, there's a rumor going around about some $150 checks or something like that. We got a lot of calls today. You know, funding's going to be coming, assistance is going to be coming. As soon as we have that information, we're going to share it. But you know, there's nobody handing out gift cards or checks as we speak right now. And like I said last time I was on, you know, if you see something online, validate it through some government officials so we can make sure that everybody has the correct information and that we don't have a bunch of rumors and misinformation going around.
Yeah, it does seem. I was talking to Carly Harding, and he was talking about an app that lets you guys know what was happening in almost real time, right? Is that something new? I hadn't heard that before.
So FEMA does have an app, and one of the things that we're seeing is that they've made some processes easier. So I know they have the website, they have a phone number you call. I think there's an app, once you get signed up, you can get an update on. So again, the process is getting easier every time, and they're going to try to do everything they can to make that easier on the residents. And I know Second Harvest Food Bank's going to be doing some things to help replenish some food that was lost. And so you're going to have a few things coming from a few different directions, but I just tell people, call. If you're not sure, call us, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, Catholic Charities, I guess, had a barbecue plan, and they gave out 18,000 meals. So there was a lot of people that needed that. And look, when you power goes out, you can't cook, you can't do those kind of things. It's nice to have those kind of services that are helping a lot of people, and it's really good. I know a lot of people always want to help, and just to find a way to be able to contribute always is a good way. So Jason, let's take a break. We're with Jason W. Bergeron, with Parish President, Terrebonne Parish. We'll be right back right here on Bayou Time.
Social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're spending some time with Jason W. Bergeron, Parish President, Terrebonne Parish. We're doing a little post-Francine issue. 677 people sustained
damages
and 25 businesses.
And we're still in the process of doing that evaluation.
Yeah, I saw the video of the flea market, but you had some other damages from businesses that were complete.
Yeah, we're still going through that evaluation, but yes, we did.
Yeah, so that's a tough time. You're right. We all thankful there wasn't damage, but if you were one of those, I guess 700 businesses or residences, that it's a little different. The fortified roof program, that's coming up soon, right? The lottery program.
So the lottery starts tomorrow, so it's up to $10,000. So if it's $20,000 roof, they'll cover half of it. And if you go to ldi.la.gov/fortify homes, you can apply for the lottery. And the thing that we've been hearing from insurance commissioner is just make sure, if you want to do a fortified roof, that you make sure your insurance will provide some discounts. So the first call I'd make is to your insurance company and say, hey, if I get this, will that mean I get any kind of discount? Or if I do any level of resiliency, what discount does that look like? And then make that return on investment, decision basically.
Right. And yeah, as long as you can get return on investment. And he said, make sure that you can call them and they'll take care of it with your insurance provider too. Do you know how many they're going to pick in the lottery?
I do not know.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I think it's the second or third time they're doing the lottery,
right,
and been trying to follow it. It's, of course, we got a problem with insurance. As far as just homeowners, flood insurance, all those kind of things. I think it was you that talked to the FEMA about we didn't have a flood, right? And we've spent so much money fortifying our levee system that we ought to maybe get a break. We've saving them money that would be spent now if we'd had a flooded area, right?
Yeah, and you talk about between Ida and Francine now, we have about $1 billion in our levies, anywhere from 2.5 to 2 million to 2.5 billion dollars, I'm sorry, that we probably could have saved. But again, I go back to that conversation that I had with FEMA and said, what kind of price can you put on our culture? What kind of price can you put on our quality of life? And in those situations where we're taxing ourselves, and we went from 11,000 homes flooded for Rita to 0 for Francine related to the levees. I think we had a couple issues north of the parish, do some drainage type issues. But those are issues that we're working through on a regular basis. And that's what people probably don't understand for a storm, is that you cannot have any issues and a tree falls or some wind gets blown in somewhere, and next thing you know, you got a clog that didn't exist prior to the storm. And those kind of things happen and do cause issues during a storm.
Yeah, but as you talk to insurance, they are kind of killing our culture with some of these prices. That's why we got to get that fixed, right? And there's the lawsuits and all that involved. And I'm sure FEMA, the more we present these things, the more they can go. Maybe this 2.0, maybe we can at least tell them what's going into it a little bit.
Well, to sit across the table from somebody and have a conversation and have them come touch it and feel it and see it. I did that with our insurance commissioner on Sunday, showed him where it held, and it made a big difference just for him to see it. He's working on getting some reinsurers down here so they can see it. So, it really shows the work and effort that we have done and we still have left to do.
Right. And I guess that is my next question. When we talk about insurance, that's been a big issue, not flood insurance now, just homeowners insurance. Having another storm right after another storm, is that can hurt us or help us with insurers?
I think you have the same opportunity, because when you look at everything that was more resilient, less telephone poles fell, less roofs were damaged that were fortified or built newer. So I think even insurance companies have an opportunity that when they're replacing roofs, they should be replacing roofs at that highest level, because you might spend a little bit more now, spend $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 now to save $30,000, $40,000 10 years down the road. So they also could look at the return on investment conversation. And you look at what we went through, and it could have been worse, and it wasn't because of things that were done after Ida, before Ida. I think it should make a difference.
Right. So as we start looking and rebuild, like say 700 structures, 677 and 25 businesses and homes, there's probably a lot of people still rebuilding from the other one. And I know there's a formula about if you get over 51% or whatever of what's been rebuilt, there's certain levels of FEMA, they want you, elevations, those kind of things. Is that something we need to look into even again at this time?
Yeah, and that's a conversation we had with FEMA the other day also was, we know this is going to be a new bucket. And you look at even our hurricane Ida resiliency with electricity, the infrastructure project, we had 847 that we were working on. We were 25%. Well, we know some of those got replaced or repaired during this Francine update. So now we got to make that comparison to say what's left, and then work on getting that fortified also. So again, we're going to work through this conversation on every topic and just working with them just to make sure we don't put good money for bad, and just that we're doing everything we can efficiently with our money.
But as you're talking culturally, right? I mean, look, we lost a lot of people after Ida. Are we going to lose more people here? I mean, that's got to be your job now, is to give people reasons to stay, rebuild, and redo, right?
Right. And I say that we have a huge opportunity right now. We have more funding coming in, another false economy like I like to reference to, but an opportunity for us to really make some significant changes and improvements, right? Not just change, but improvements from where we were. So.
Yeah, so that's where you go now. Look, we're not out of hurricane season, so I don't want you to just put everything in and start looking ahead, but really that's what you got to do as a parish president.
Right, we do, and we got to prepare in case there's another storm. And so a couple of things I did want to share is that we are going to start picking up some debris tomorrow, and also just make sure our residents don't sign anything under duress. If you feel it in your gut, something might be wrong, you don't have to call us. Call a family member, to talk to you, a neighbor, and just have that conversation saying, should I sign this? And just make sure, again, you're checking IDs. You're looking for state contract licenses. You're looking for occupational licenses. You're looking for FEMA ID cards. Take that extra minute and say, let me make sure this person is who they say they are and not going to do the work that they say they're going to do, and don't give them a bunch of money up front, or any money at all if you can help.
Right. We'll get to that later. All right, we'll take another break. We'll be right back right here on Bayou Time.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Jason W. Bergeron is the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, and we talked about the federal declaration from the White House and the Francine major disaster declaration. All of that goes into picking up debris and all those kind of things. So that's a real important thing. Is it's not just the normal Terrebonne Parish waste management. It's a little different when it comes to getting FEMA money to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. One, if you just start loading all this debris into the regular garbage collection process, the trucks are going to fill up in twice or three times the amount of time. You know, it's just, they'll be full. So when it comes to what it takes for us to qualify for declarations, there are certain factors that come into play. Debris is one of them, right? So this declaration that we got last night actually reimburses us for that debris. And so we have to make sure that we do keep it separate. I know it's frustrating and people won't understand, you know, why is it this not been picked up with that, or why is it taking so long to get some leaves or branches picked up? It's killing my grass. If we don't follow the process, we don't get reimbursed for it. So we have to follow that process, and that's what we're going to do.
So here's some of the guidelines. So you're talking about branches, leaves, bags, those kind of things. That's one. Construction debris is another one. You know, something from inside your house, drywall, if you've had flooding, flooring, that kind of stuff. And then household garbage. Those are all three separate things.
All three separate. And when you look at the construction debris, or if anybody's going to do a demo, you know, there are permits that we're asking you to get for that. That's all information we got to provide back, right? So the permits, we waiving permit fees for hurricane repairs like we did for Ida. That's already in effect. We did an executive order for that. And so just if you could help us, and that's getting us so we get the data. You know, we're doing all the disaster numbers we gave a while ago with the homes and businesses. We're passing that information on, and we're doing it in a way that gives it to them for them to make decisions faster, to get us assistance faster. Right. And it helps us.
Right. Is there a certain area where there's going to be more debris? Is it maybe outside the locks where you guys need to start this debris, or is it all over the parish?
So it is all over the parish, with primarily amount of it being outside the levee system, you know. So our teams have maps and plans and everything that they go by to make sure, you know, something a little bit different. And a lot of that's going to be working out of the Ashland infield instead of all the different areas around town like it was for Ida. And so it's a little bit more controlled effort just for the fact that we have less debris. But, you know, we're probably still in the 1.5 to 2 million cost on debris that we're looking at. So these numbers add up quickly, and we're just looking to make sure that we get as much as we can reimbursed. You know, there's a 75-25 match with FEMA, and then we're hoping that the state can help us on that 25% match. So it's not like we're getting free money either. Right. We got to step up and pay some money out to match the things that are being done for us to help recover from this storm.
And we were talking, it's not like you can just store these big old trucks that have the big winches and all that kind of stuff. These are contractors that come in town. So how does that whole process work? Is that just somebody comes from somewhere else to do that?
Yeah, so we have a contractor or consultant we work with that we got ready to go before the storm. And if we need certain things, we go, hey, I need X, I need Y, I need Z. You know, there's conversations at the GOSEP level with what it looks like for debris. There's conversations between what's debris between the state and the parish, and whether or not we're going to pick it up for the state, and what does that look like for them reimbursing us. And so our goal is to get it all picked up. So it's no different than what we did with utilities. Our goal is to get it all back like it was as fast as we can, making sure that we don't do anything that's going to cost us to spend money or money that we're not going to get reimbursed for. Because we got to make sure, again, when it comes back to the end of the day, that we're spending money on the roads and everything else that we need to, that we don't have to take any of that money and put it towards this cleanup.
And you're not going to have, like, I think Valhalla had one, Bayou might have had one of these places where the debris was taken temporarily.
Right.
There's none of everything goes to Ashland
right
this time?
Everything's going to Ashland, and unless we get to a point where we're going to make that change. But that's the path we're on right now.
Right. But, you know, I think it worked pretty good last time, considering, right? You know,
Right.
all the debris that we all were dealing with last time. So your town hall meeting, you have another one this Thursday. You had understandably, last Thursday, right?
Right.
You didn't have one. You could have had it in the middle of the storm.
I had it in the middle of the storm. I'm sure
Right,
people
the
would
day
have
after.
talked.
But so this week you'll be in Montague, right?
Yeah, we're just working to continue on our transparent message and answering questions to people. I'm sure we'll have some questions around about Francine and what that recovery looks like. And again, as we have information, we're going to continue to release it on our Facebook and website like we've been doing during the storm. We want to make sure our residents have information so they can make informed decisions, and that's very important to us.
Mm-hmm. And you've been getting good people, good turnouts at these things?
Yeah, there's been good turnouts and good questions. We put together kind of a PowerPoint of what we've done to date and offer the opportunity if they want to look at that, if they just want to talk in whatever format is good with us. At the end of the day, I want to make sure, I'm not going to leave until I hear every question and try to do everything we can to get it answered there or come back with information the following day or after that, once we get what information is needed we might not have. And again, like this FEMA process with the storm is going to be, it's going to be a moving target. Ida was different than the previous storm and how they did stuff and how fun they came through. And I'm sure there's some improvements they've made, some things that were done for Ida that's going to be different for Francine. And again, we're just going to work to have that information out. Like I said, be on the lookout for an announcement for us to open the main library within a week to be a disaster assistance center, recovery assistance center. And that'll be a place people can go for getting things filled out.
And clearinghouse too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so they can do almost everything at a one stop. So that's always very important because people go, I don't know where to go, but it'll be the library.
Yes.
Or it'll be like in the library, or it's going to be like a.
It'll be in the library.
Okay.
Yes, it'll be in the library.
That's a great area. There's a lot of parking. It's easy to access for most people from the parish. So that'll be a good thing as well.
And if people have, people can't make that or they need, like I talked about when I first got on, you could call FEMA, you go online with FEMA, you can file that claim there. If you have any trouble with that or you need some assistance, call us. We'll get the right person to you or get the right information where it needs to go to make sure your claim gets filed. And there's going to be a lot of different groups helping in a lot of different ways. And we just ask that you be patient. Some of our people are going through the same process and that we want to make sure that we're nice to everybody.
Absolutely. That's a great campaign slogan. We're nice to everybody.
Yes,
no, Jason, thanks for the update, man. And like I say, I really, everybody I've heard said what a great job. Everybody was prepared and the response has been good. So
Our team, I got to give credit to our team and we truly have I've said it before, I'll say it again, we have truly amazing employees and directors at the parish and I appreciate all their hard work.
Absolutely. And they're going through the storm like everybody else. Jason W. Bergeron, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more Bayou Time after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.